Hi everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the English version of the tour of stops of this Mathis-Organ. It's quite a large instrument, it's 49 stops from the year 1995. And this is the bigger of the two Mathis-Organs I have in this church I work on. And I've already done a video about the organ itself. It's a bit like an introduction to the whole instrument, and now I'm going to try to concentrate on the different stops and different sounds that you can use when you're playing this organ. So we have three manuals, as you can see, and the pedal board, and a bit different. This instrument has some different quirks and features than other instruments, and first of them would be that the Hauptwerk, that the main manual, is down. It's not in the middle like at most three manual instruments. So we begin with the Hauptwerk. We have here the 14 Hauptwerk stops, and we can begin with octave 8 foot, so it's an then you can pull the 4-foot octave, Doublette 2-foot, and the Mixtur 2. But that's not all, because this is a quite a large instrument. So we have, if you want this principal choir, diapason, I think it's the name in English, then we can add the Praestant 16-foot and the Scharff 1-foot, like bookends on both ends of the spectrum, and then we have quite a large sound. So this would be the principal choir, I think it's the name. I have to say I'm sorry, because English is my third language and it's not the language I learned this instrument in. So it's a bit, these names are for me quite unusual. Not so, I don't use English that much for the organ for work. So we have a few flutes as well. Of course, we have the Bourdon 8-foot. It's a really nice stop which goes well with other stops. And then the Spitzflöte 4-foot. This is a nice combination as accompaniment for another manual if you want to have a solo on another manual. Bourdon 8 and Spitzflöte 4 in the accompaniment, and then we had a Cornet. I'm going to get to this afterwards on the third manual, on the Hauptwerk, and we had 16/8 in the pedals. We also have a Quinte 2 2/3, and we have a Cornet 8-foot. I don't really use it that much, but it's also there. And we have Viola di Gamba. This is a string instrument. It's quite quite loud, and you can use it well if you combine all the 8-foot stops from all three manuals, and then you get a really nice sound for Brahms, for stuff like that, for Mendelssohn. So all these 8-foot stops, they go really well together, and you can have a really nice thick sound in the 8-foot range. So in the lower row we have the copper and the couples, I think. These are for the manuals, these are for manuals to pedal. And here we have, of course, I forgot, we have 2 reeds in the manuals, a 16-foot reed, a bombard, and a 8-foot reed, trumpet. So it's a really nice thing to have. And then we have the 10 stops in the pedals. We have the Subbass 16. It's almost always in. Then we can add Bourdon 8-foot. And then the chorale bass 4. We can switch Bourdon 8 and take the Octave bass 8. It's a bit louder. And we can use the principal 16-foot. It's really loud, so I don't ever use it for hymns and for songs. And of course we have the 32-foot Untersatz, and it hasn't been done in the whole length, but upwards you really can feel it. Then there's the Hintersatz 4 Fuß. It's like a mixture. And then we have the three reeds, 16, 8, and 4 foot. So you can see there's really enough meat there. Then we go to the Schwellwerk. It's a swell, and then we have the Portonalflöte 8. There is no principal in the 8-foot range here. It's a really nice stop. It gets a bit out of tune, but it's possible even for me. I'm not an organ builder. Even for me, I tune, of course, all of the reeds, but sometimes I tune some pipes of the Portonalflöte because they get out of tune. The swell itself is also mechanical, so everything I do here gets translated in wood opening up. So we have the principal 4. Then we have different stops like the Flûte 4 foot or the Octave 2 foot. And And then we have the mixture, the plein jeu. We also have a Bourdon 16-foot, and what goes well with this stuff is the oboe 8-foot. So other than the oboe, there are also two 8-foot and 4-foot reeds. There's another reed, Wowman. I should tune it. There's also something I really like, Voix Céleste and Salicionar, 8-foot, they go very well together, and then you can create such sounds. And that would be the third manual. Then we have the middle one, that's the Rückpositiv, because it's in my back, Rücken. And you have a really, this is more of a German Baroque organ type of thing here. Gedackt 8-foot. Then we can give the Rohrflöte 4-foot dazu. Octave 2-foot. And then we can take the Praestant 4 and have a small plenum here on the second manual. And we can have the 3 pedal stops, only 3, and then we can play Bach. So it's really nice sounds here, and then we can also, of course, have some other sounds like the Quintade 8-foot, the Rohrflöte 4, Waldflöte 2-foot, and Sesquialtera with the tremolant, and then we can use the 2 stops from the Hauptwerk again as accompaniment and 2 stops in the pedal, and then it sounds something like this. something like that. As I've maybe already mentioned, I'm not an organ builder, I'm just a guy who gets to work on this beautiful instrument, and this is the way I use the stops I have here. So if I've said something wrong, or if I've said something with which you disagree, please don't get upset. There's more than one way to skin a cat. This was just a small introduction into the stop list that I have here. And vielleicht maybe something for the end. The way in this church the hymns are accompanied is really not that loud. So we want the people singing to be heard, and this would be something like that. So I have the Bourdon 8 and the Octave 4-foot on the Hauptwerk. Then I have Subbass 16, Bourdon 8-foot, and Choralbass 4-foot in the pedals. And then I have Gedacht 8 and Rohrflöte 4-foot in the accompaniment. So the soprano can be heard well and it's not too loud. This is most of the time the registration I use for hymns and for the services that I play here, and sometimes it's a bit louder than that, but this is it. So it's quite different, I guess, than in some other churches in Europe and in America, of course, as well. So I hope you've liked this introduction into the stop list. I hope you have subscribed already. If not, please do this. I think in this corner you'll find a red button like subscribe or abonnieren or something like that. This helps me a lot. I really rejoice at every new subscriber. It's a really great kind of support, and it costs you nothing, so it's really quick. And if you have some comments, please leave them below. And if you press the like button, I would really appreciate it. And please leave your comments below and tell me what other things you'd like to know about this instrument or the other instruments. And I wish you a good time and have fun. Please subscribe.